Stuka Joe here for yet another infamous unboxing video, because unboxing videos are the beauty pageants of war games. And today we will unbox No Retreat, the Italian Front, 1943-1945 by GMT, designed by Carl Paradis, and this is the latest installment in the No Retreat series. And this one is getting a deluxe treatment, as you can see by the box. This is the big, thick, detergent size box that we like so much from GMT. So let's take a look at what's inside. We have our packing slip, and my copy of the game was packed by Deb, and she did a fine job. And we have here the rule book, and this rule book has 40 pages, and the rules go up to page 39. So there's some rules to read, but there's designer notes in the rules in the form of those blue boxes. So you have some tips there. They're well illustrated, and this is the most involved of the No Retreat series, but I suppose that it is so because of the campaign that it is representing. Here you see a depiction of the maps, and the game brings a total of 3 map sections. You have this section with Sicily, which you flip to its other side, and it is the northern section, and you have the central and southern sections of the map there. And we will show you the maps pretty soon. So this is the rule book. There's also a playbook, and the playbook is also 40 pages long. It has a counter manifesto in the back, and it has some special campaign rules. You have setups for the various scenarios here. Rules for 3 players, where 2 players can take the allies. Very well illustrated designer notes. Here we have the player notes, tips for the Germans, for the Allies, and you have historical notes and notes about the commanders. Also, in this game, we have an example of play, and that's the video that we will be doing about it. Will be the examples of play here, and there's an example of play with the invasion of Sicily, Operation Husky, and that covers most of the portion here of the example of play. And then there's another example of play, assault on a fortified line, which shows you here, this is in mainland Italy, an example of the assault there, and we will also cover that example. Now we get to the player aid cards. Here we have the terrain weather effects chart, and you have the terrain depiction, movement points that it costs, whether it provides a column shift to the right for armor, defense shifts, and whether it stops the advance. And here you have the game turn record track starting in 1943 going up to 1945. Now you may say, wow, this is a long game, but this game has a mechanic which I'm very interested in testing or playing, which is that you don't recreate each turn as in any other regular game. You can gloss over certain turns where there's not going to be any offensives by using, for example, an attrition attack. So there's going to be instances in which the turns will go fast, and in other instances you will transform the tempo of the game into a weekly sequence, and there you will conduct specific actions and offensives and attacks. Here we have the No Retreat combat tables, one for the Allies, one for the Axis, and here you have the attrition combat result table, which is reminiscent of Rise and Decline of the Third Reich by Avalon Hill, where you could exercise an attrition option or an offensive option. And here you have the possible combat results. There's a lot of different combat results in this game, that's a difference between this game and the other No Retreat games. You have more combat results. Here we have a sequence of play battle sequence, attrition sequence, card event timing, and weekly preparation. And on the other side, we have a strategic map display. Here is the units that start the game in North Africa, American and British units. And you have a depiction of the map sections and the victory points that they are worth. Here we have the same player aid, but this time with the strategic map display for the Germans. These are Italian units, even though they are round. Italian units, so you have infantry units, and these are static Italian units. And here we have the reinforcement display and withdrawal display. These are the withdrawals down here, starting 1943, and these are for both sides. Very colorful, well done. And on the back side, it continues on turn 12 up to April 22nd here, which is, well, it's not April 22nd, it's the 22nd turn, which happens to be April 45. Okay, and here we have the, again, another additional player aid, and here we have this one-sided card where you have the victory point track, the major offensive track, the Italian war status track that goes from Armistizio to Viva il Duce, and you have the Allied shipping track, and again the game record track here. And this is not a card-driven game, but it is a game that uses event cards. And players draw from a common deck of event cards, and you have the German event on top and the Allied event at the bottom. And it has various symbols which affect play. I don't remember right now because I'm still reading through the rules. These cards are very well done. And this is the typical no retreat card. So you get a bunch of those here, many cards. And then you have a significant group of leader cards. And this is something that is new in the series. There's cards for the major leaders. You have Ike here, Dwight D. Eisenhower in command. For the Germans, Smiling Albert Kesselring. Vietinghoff. You have Harold Alexander, Mark Clark, and of course Monty here, Bernard Montgomery. And they have certain attributes that affect their whole side. And so you can have switches in leadership, and I believe that by switching leaders, you can lose victory points too if you're switching leaders too much. Now, we get to the counters, and this is the way they come. They come in a plastic Ziploc bag, and there are 2 sheets of counters. And the first sheet are 1-inch counters, and they do not need clipping, and they are very nice and thick also. Thickness is not a problem in this game. And you have the elite units here, the Hermann Goering Panzer Division. In Italy, the Germans were managed, I believe, successfully with few units to hold off a lot of Allied units, and I believe that's also due to the terrain in Italy. There's a lot of mountains in Italy. And the Germans sent, even though they had few units, they had very powerful units there. You see here the 26th Panzer Division, 16th Panzer Division. You have some SS units. You have dreaded German paratroopers that held for so long there at Cassino. They were a real pain to dislodge. And you have more German units. Here we have some American units. We have Mountain Division, the 82nd Airborne. We have some Rangers there. And the 1st Brazilian Division, they showed up in 1945. And we have here the British with their armored units, infantry, and you have the Commonwealth units, the New Zealanders, the Indians, you have the Canadians, the Polish, and here we have the Free French, which you have Moroccans and Algerians too. More U.S. armored or mechanized infantry units and infantry units. And on the back side, it's a reduced side of the units that we showed you. And here we have more counters, and these green counters are not markers, they are Italian units. The green ones are the Pro Axis Italians, and I believe that the brown ones and the green ones are the Pro Allied Italians. And one thing I wanted to show you, on the back of one of the Pro Allied Italians, you have here Vincenzo di Sici. I hope I didn't mispronounce his name. He is the grandfather of Dan Pancaldi, who is my esteemed friend, wargamer, musician, who lives in Canada, and he was with the Bersaglieri, and that's him. So he is in the game, and we continue looking here at the units. This is the back portion of the second sheet. You have more markers here. You have port markers, landings, and here we have the Axis forts. You have I believe these are, what are these? Are these counter blow markers? These are counter blow markers. And we have some attack markers somewhere around here. Let me see. Oh, here they are. Here you have the Allied. When you attack with the Allied units, you place these on the defending hexes that you're attacking. And the same is true with the Germans. And you are limited by the counters, actually. So you can't be attacking all over the place. Even though this game does not have that number of counters that will allow you to do that. There's a limited number of counters, but that's the essence of the No Retreat series. It's low counter density. Now, let's go to the maps. And here, the maps come also wrapped or inside a plastic Ziploc bag. And these are just a beauty. This is the southern Italy portion or section. Here you see Foggia. And these are very large hexes indeed. And let's see if we can just lay the map out, even though you're not gonna be able to see all the sections at once. Let's open this one. This is the southern Italy section. And as I stated before, there's three sections. So you have here, south is this way, and this is Taranto here. And all the letters are facing this way. You have boxes for shattered units, destroyed units, surrendered units. So we come from the south and we're going north. This is Salerno, and Naples is right here. So if we continue up north, the next map will be the one for central Italy. Let's lay that one down too. Here we go. So we continue north, and now we are advancing onto Rome. Here you have Cassino, which is the place where the line stagnated and the Allies were just crashing into Cassino. And finally, it was the Poles who were able to dislodge the Germans there. And that was after there was an invasion here at Anzio, which also stagnated there. And failed to take Rome. It was, I believe, thought that the invasion should have been able to take Rome right away, but the troops stayed there. So you have characteristics of the Italian campaign. You have mountainous terrain, mostly in the center part of Italy. And in the east here, you have relatively easier terrain to traverse, as well as in the west. So the Germans made, of course, use of all this mountainous terrain to delay the Allies as much as they could. So we continue north, we pass through Rome, and now we would place the northern Italy map, which has two sides. So let's show the northern Italy map first, and it would be, let me see, this way, okay? So we'd place it when we reach the map here. This is Florence, Bologna, Mantua, Verona, and Milan here, and Genoa. So this is the northern map is this one, but when you use this map, you don't need the Sicilian map, which is on the other side. And one very nice thing about this game is that it includes the Battle for Sicily. This game was inspired, according to the designer, by the Avalon Hill Anzio game. And if you played Anzio, Anzio had a map of Italy, which was an elongated two maps. I think it was 44 by 11, something like that. But Sicily wouldn't appear. But you have Sicily in this game. So you can play the whole Italian campaign from Sicily up to northern Italy. So this is No Retreat, the Italian Front, 2015 GMT Games, designer Carl Paradis. I will be finishing reading the rules, and then I will be making a video about the extended examples of play found in the rule book. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you enjoyed this unboxing video. So this is Stuka Joe signing off for now. Thanks for watching.